So within the business plan, it's very important for us that it's usually just based on the sort of what they're looking for to lend. You know, if they're looking for a £10,000 loan, we don't want a 100-page business plan. Well, to be honest, we don't ever want a 100-page business plan. But I guess the business plan contents need to probably reflect how much you're looking to lend. And I guess if you're looking to borrow £1 million, we would probably look for a little bit more detail than you would if you were borrowing £10,000. We would prefer to see it in their own language and written by themselves rather than a professional organisation. One, it will save money, but actually the people who are writing the business plan, if they're from the organisation, know it inside out. So actually, you know, it reflects what the business is actually doing. Try and keep it concise. Try not use abbreviations. You know, in the end, the customer's the expert in what they do. So it's quite easy to suddenly go into technicalities and technical parts of the business that somebody, you know, from a lender just won't understand. So try and make it as concise as possible. Certain things to cover off within that would be around, well, obviously what they do, what the social impact of the organisation is, what difference the investment will make to that social impact. You know, and that might not be necessarily doubling the impact of what they already do. Sometimes the borrowing might just be to preserve the impact it's already making, and that would be okay too. But you know, try and articulate that as best you can. Detail anything within the business plan around other funding. You know, I've mentioned in some of the other questions that I've answered around it could be a funding mix. So yes, you've applied to SIS for this loan, but actually have you applied to other people? And actually we're just one part of that jigsaw, and it's good to understand how they all fit together, and have you actually secured the rest? Because if you're looking for £1 million and we're the first people you're speaking to and you want to borrow £25,000 from us, then to be honest, it's probably a little bit too early for us. You've got a long way to go to reach your £1 million. The problem, I guess, with that is that if everybody took that view, then nobody's going to start that journey with you. But I would say try and start it with a large part. So if you're trying to find £1 million, try and get the lottery to put in half of it, you know, or something, you know, and then come to the other funders to say, I've already raised half. And then that journey doesn't look quite as far. But if you're asking for a funder to take something forward, and it might not happen for 3 or 4 years, or maybe never happen at all, then a lot of funders could be quite rightly reluctant to spend too much time on it. So think about how much you're trying to raise, who you would need as part of that jigsaw, and try and raise a large part of it early before you go to everyone else. And that, I guess, would also then fit around how does the security fit. So if you are going to a commercial bank and SIS and Resilient Scotland, you know, those are the kind of conversations that you would need to have. Governance, you know, how is your business run? Who's on your board? What's the skills? What's the expertise? What's the drive of the management? So, you know, we would obviously be looking for, is there any particular skills that are perhaps missing? So, you know, the obvious one being, person's passionate about whatever they do, but actually they don't have a finance person in there, or they don't have somebody who really knows the numbers. That would raise some concerns with us, because, you know, people have to remember you're running a business regardless of the impact that you're delivering. If you can't run the business sustainably, then that impact you're going to lose. So you need to be able to run the business sustainably, and so you need to understand how that business model fits together and understand the numbers. You know, what are your margins? You know, if you're delivering a project for the council, what have you done to assess that actually what the council are paying you is enough for you to deliver it and profitably? You know, if it's costing you money every month to deliver something, then you're not going to be around for very long. And borrowing money to close that gap isn't the way forward, because, you know, one, the funder's probably not going to give it to you if they don't think you can repay it, and two, it's going to run out as well eventually if you're continuing to make an ongoing loss. It's worth also detailing within the business plan what you see as the risks to your business. You know, you will understand your business better than anybody, and the funder will always be considering, well, if I lend this money, what are the risks here? So that risk could be the person that they're speaking to. You know, is that person key to the business? Is that person the business? So actually, if that person leaves, there isn't anything left. So there's no security because, you know, that person is the business. So it's worth you highlighting it in your business plan what the key risks are, and any kind of actions or systems or processes or other people that can come in and sort of mitigate that risk as best you can, because the lenders are going to be looking at that as well. So actually, if you've highlighted it within your business plan, then that kind of shows that you're aware of how your business operates. And again, it just, I guess, provides more credibility to you and your organisation, if that's the case. Contracts, I guess we've touched on that as well previously. You know, if your business has got any contracts, please, you know, put that in your business plan, because it's all about certainty. You know, any funder wants to know about certainty. The more risks that are there, you know, the higher the interest rate they're probably going to charge you, but actually they might not do it at all. So I guess the more comfort you can give the funder around any of the risks and what you can do to reduce them, the more likelihood is that you will secure that funding.